rise. Bow your head for a moment of silence. Dear Lord, we come to you today. We're thankful for the last 5 months as we get through our halfway of the year here and begin. But most of all, we ask you to bless the graduates from high school, that as they begin their new phase in life, that they may stay safe and enjoy their summers. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of constituting, for preparing written minutes. Recordings are overwritten following approval of the minutes, eliminating all unofficial records of these proceedings. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held May 23rd, 2024.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. Are there any guests here concerning county business?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Dennis Blocker. I attended an earlier meeting here to discuss LERTA, a tax assistance program that Lehighton has been discussing and has recently adopted an ordinance. I'd just like to bring the county commissioners up to speed from my understanding what's going on. LERTA is a tax assistance program that is supposed to assist communities in helping areas that are economically depressed. That's the purpose of this program, economically depressed. And this is how they define in the act economically depressed. It is unsafe, unsatisfactory, overcrowded buildings, vacant, overgrown, unsightly lots of ground, disproportionate number of delinquent tax properties, excessive land coverage, and defective design. Now, what Lehighton did, rather than defining a LERTA zone, and that was the whole purpose, define an area that fit that definition. What they did was they kind of took an outside look. They defined the entire community, the entire footprint of Lehighton as economically depressed. Now, I don't know what that's gonna do to our real estate values and certainly to our school. How can we recruit quality school teachers in an economically depressed school district? I just don't think that's gonna work. I think they really need to go back and amend their ordinance. And that's why I'm bringing this to your attention, because I know the borough will be coming by to explain their program to you. I know they're coming by the school district. I was just at the school district the other evening. They've tabled this again, and they're going to have a workshop, which I'm going to attend their workshop. So I'm trying to provide information that you understand what this program is. If we would look at the borough of Lehighton, you know, at what is an economically depressed part of the town? You might define it as maybe the First Street area. You might, where the railroads were, that might be a definition of an economically depressed area. But to define our entire community, I don't think it's fair to our taxpayers. That's, you know, just, and when Lehighton went into this program, they were really looking to support one business on the 443 corridor. And the 443 corridor in Lehighton is probably the best economic area of the borough of Lehighton. So to call that depressed, I think is not meeting the definition. So that's the information I wanted to provide to the county. So when they get an opportunity to discuss this with the borough folks, they have another view. Okay.
And I'll make a comment on that. I might as well get myself in trouble right away too. I agree with you 100% on that. I think at the county, I mean, since I've been here, we've been trying to stress that we're a good county. We have 2 new hospitals. We have 443 that's coming through. there's everything, and we have great schools, and to advertise that you're depressed, how are you gonna have good companies come in? You know, even like families that are looking for good schools, they look at it and we're a depressed community. Will it hurt Lehighton? Probably. It might help some of the other communities within the county, but I just can't see we're having it that it's a depressed area, the whole thing. And like I said, if they would have did it maybe a part of town, an area where it is depressed, you know, but we're looking forward to having great businesses coming on 443. I mean, they put a great road in, and the zoning is up, pretty much up to specs, what has to be done. And I don't know what's gonna happen when you advertise that you're depressed, you know, and we won't know until a couple years down the road. And I'm hoping it goes in a good direction, but when you advertise depressed, I think, like I said, where the people are coming from, they're coming from a depressed area. You know, why would you come to another depressed area?
The program definitely has its merits, but
Oh, yeah.
under the definition,
Yeah.
it just doesn't fit the way the ordinance was passed. And there's just so much risk, there's so much administrative cost. They've already come out with their application process, and one of the main things in their application process that they haven't requested is a credit background check of the applicants. Now, how can we bring someone in that we're gonna give tax assistance to when we don't even know what their credit background is and what their background is or the type of business that they're in? I mean, there's just so many unknowns that they haven't really examined. And that's what concerns me. I'm here to support the taxpayers, that we don't get, you know, more taxes on the individual taxpayers. Businesses have to pay their responsible taxes, that's it.
In addition to that, we had a short discussion prior to the meeting with Mr. Blocker here, and he brings out a good point on the property that was just demoed in Lehighton. It's not even borough property, and the fact that it costs so much to tear it down. And although there are liens on it, and what has occurred over the years, the property has been sold repeatedly, while there has been back taxes and other liens against the properties. And I feel that it should be illegal to transfer property unless some of these liens or taxes are settled beforehand. And now what happens in the discussion was, what happens is that property owner gonna put up a new building now, request to alert a tax and a tax reduction without even having to pay back those taxes. And I certainly think the municipalities should be able to bill these property owners, give them a deadline, 90 days to pay back taxes, legal fees, demolition fees, etc. And they should be able to take that property then. And I apologize, I didn't realize that property wasn't even under the ownership of the Borough of Lehighton. And we're tearing it down for these people that are a nuisance, out of county, out of state even, and we have no control over it. And I think we need to really discuss with our legislators that, look, we should put a lien on these properties. They cannot sell the property unless those liens are met. And if they are not met, the municipalities should have more rights in condemning that property and taking possession if the owners are not gonna be responsible for it.
Mike's not gonna get himself in trouble.
I'm just gonna simply say to Mr. Blocker, I thank you for coming before the board, and I listen to your concerns, and I'll wait to hear from Lehighton's Borough Council or leadership as to what their future plans may be there. I mean, I don't wanna say anything until I know both sides. Plus, these two guys live in Lehighton and I do not, so.
I mean, their initial concern was the business on the 4483, but they are also trying to support and bring business in. And I want our community to flourish also. But, you know, this thing was intended to bring in big business, like millions of dollars. They're talking about supporting the businesses on First Street, like doing a new facade on their storefronts, giving assistance at at the level of $25,000. I mean, just the administration to handle each one of those, if businesses would come forward, I just don't see it happening. I'm looking at a large multi-million-dollar company. That's what we're trying to bring into the county, the borough, to bring our tax base up. But by trying to support these small guys, and again, I'm a business person for 50-some years. I support businesses, but I just don't see this program working at that level. You know, it's, so they have to.
And I agree with what you're saying, and the only thing I would say is, from the outside looking in, on this level, I don't see Lehighton Borough as an economically depressed borough.
Well, thank
I
you
think there's a
very
lot of
much.
very good people in Lehighton,
Yes.
and I don't think it's fair to the entire, of the residents to label the entire community that.
No.
But I would like to see why Borough Council, there may be an underlying issue as to why, looking forward, they wanted to do that. So I will wait on all of that until that time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Our next item is the proclamation, Child Welfare Appreciation Week, June 3rd through June 7th, 2024. This is proclamation number 24006. You have a motion, please?
Motion approved or adopt.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. Want to read it right away?
I'll be happy to. Whereas every day in Carbon County, children are at risk of child abuse and neglect or have been removed from their homes due to such abuse and neglect. And whereas Carbon County recognizes the risks and the need to protect children of the county, the challenging task of investigating child abuse and neglect, providing services to families, assessing safety of children, and providing services to ensure that Carbon County's children are provided with nurturance, family connections, support as they transition into adulthood, and services that allow a child to remain safely in their home or return home as expeditiously as possible, falls to the child welfare professionals of the child welfare system. And whereas the work of child welfare professionals may require them to enter into situations in which their personal safety may be put at risk. In addition, child welfare professionals work in difficult and emotional situations with children who have been victimized by physical abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, and other forms of maltreatment. And whereas child welfare professionals must develop great skill in working with families in crisis, struggling with mental health challenges, suffering from substance abuse issues, poverty, and other difficult issues. Child welfare professionals must develop substantial knowledge and skills surrounding the rights of families, applicable laws, and how to develop culturally sensitive services. And whereas child welfare professionals selflessly undertake the endeavor to protect Carbon County's children, often with long hours, tremendous demands, little appreciation, and with dramatic impacts to their personal life. Every year, child welfare professionals are injured or killed in their pursuit to protect children across the United States. And whereas innumerable injuries and deaths of children have been averted due to the valuable efforts of child welfare professionals. Now, therefore, the Carbon County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim June 3rd to 7th, 2024 as Carbon County Child Welfare Appreciation Week, adopted by the Carbon County Board of Commissioners this 30th day of May 2024.
And with us today is Jill Geisinger. Jill, if you'd like to say a few words.
Sure. I have two of my lovely staff here, Naomi Rodriguez and Mark Schwartz. Mark has been with us for 2 years, and Naomi for 6 months. She was a county employee before that. And I just want to say that we all know that there is no manual on how to parent a child. It's a very difficult process, and we are here to try to support parents in Carbon County to do that. We provide services to them, we instruct them, we educate them, and we try to do the best that we can. And I want to thank my staff, 11 staff of children and youth. They investigated 1,300 general protective reports and over 300 child abuse reports last year. They did an incredible job. And 1 week is not enough to appreciate them, but I certainly do every day. And I'm so glad that you're honoring them this week. Thank you. Come up.
We'll come out around there.
Thank you. Smile.
That's rare.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Job well done.
Thank you, board.
My ones were up here, right?
Somebody was paying attention.
Appreciate that.
This week I will.
This week.
And I do have to say one thing, I'm gonna comment on this too. Children and Youth does a tremendous job, and I don't know how to define this. It's a bad job with great rewards. And our Children and Youth, I don't think is second to none. I mean, what we've gained in the last couple of years is like tremendous. I mean, it's like, it wasn't great, and now it is. But I think our department is always striving to be better. Even if you're at 100%, you want to be at 105. So I think Carbon County is fortunate to have this group. I mean, every day I see things that are happening that, like I said, that are bad, that you can't always fix everything, but you fix most of them. And like I said, I don't know if that would be my comment, a bad job with great rewards. That's probably a good definition of what you people are. Thank you.
Thank
The only,
you.
the only thing I'd like to add to that is probably about 3 weeks ago, I had received a call early in the morning, around 1 a.m. in the morning, from the Pennsylvania State Police, from a corporal, who found it necessary to call me at that hour and let me know that he just got done handling a really serious situation that was going on that involved a child, actually an infant. And he made sure that he relayed to me at that time that the Children and Youth in Carbon County this employee went above and beyond the call of what would be normal. And he wanted to make note of that they get recognized, or at least be told that it did. So I did call Jill the next day, but I never really publicly said that, but I would like to say that now, especially with this appreciation week here, and thank you for all you're doing.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Anything further?
Thank you for your commitment and service.
Thank you.
What's wrong? I have so many little button transfers today. Oh, there you go.
Next
We're ready?
item, the report of executive sessions held.
There were none.
Okay. Okay, department reports, the budget transfers.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
There are no supplemental appropriations. Expenditures, approval of check numbers 243954 through 244043 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $1,319,348.74.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The treasurer's report.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The personnel report for county departments.
Motion approved. Oh,
Second?
Mr. Honor?
yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The acknowledgements for courts and row offices.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
There is no correspondence received. Advertising for approval. Authorize the advertisement of the closure of non-essential county offices on July 5th, 2024 due to the courthouse renovation project.
Motion approved. I figured I'd give him a chance.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Boards and authorities, Children and Youth Advisory Board.
Motion to go ahead.
Reappointment, 3-year term to expire May 1st, 2027, Mindy Graver of Lehighton, Pennsylvania.
Motion to reappoint.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Children and Youth for approval and execution. Fiscal year 2024-2025 purchase of service agreement with Lighthouse Family Youth Agency of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as per the attached rates.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Agreement Vistacom. A proposal was received from Vistacom of Allentown, Pennsylvania, to purchase a polycart system for children and youth office at a cost of $19,058.07, including a 4-year extended warranty at a cost of $3,775.47, for a total cost of $22,833.54. This is CoStar's contract number 34-E22-156.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The correctional facility, vehicle fleet financing for approval. Proposal submitted by Enterprise Fleet Management of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, for 2 replacement vehicles under the vehicle fleet financing and maintenance of the master and open-end equity lease agreement, approved April 27, 2017, agenda item number 17-159, and extended on July 28, 2022, agenda number 22-268, vehicle monthly cost and full maintenance program with a term of 60 months. 2024 Ford Police Interceptor utility at a cost of $928.13 per month per vehicle, and full maintenance at $89.68 per month per vehicle, for a total cost of $2,035.64 per month.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Emergency Services for approval, proposal submitted by P&D Emergency Services of Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, to install 2 horizontal sliding window panels for the 2024 Ford Interceptor utility vehicles at a total cost of $2,234.90, including panels, installation, and labor.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Insurance, PCOR renewal for approval. The 2024-2025 insurance renewal with the Pennsylvania Counties Risk Pool for the period of June 1, 2024 through May 31, 2025 at a total cost of $524,530. This is an increase of $71,882 with the payment option of 40, 30, and 30. Cost breakdown as listed.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Planning and Development for approval and execution. Revision request number 6 to the Community Development Block Grant Program fiscal year contract 2020, contract number 75969 for Nesquehoning Borough, Packer Township as follows. Revision request number 6, moving $9,410 from Nesquehoning Borough street improvements, Diaz Avenue to Packer Township street improvements, culvert replacement, Oker Mill Road.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Service agreements, Johnson Controls, a planned service agreement with Johnson Controls of Allentown, Pennsylvania, for HVAC rooftop units for the 76 Susquehanna Building, County Administration Building, 44 Susquehanna Street, Archives, and Children and Youth. Term of the agreement commences July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. Total cost of all buildings, $28,460.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The Administration Building for approval and execution. Proposal submitted by Johnson Controls Incorporated of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, for the Metasys system for the HVAC in the Administration Building for the VAV controllers at an annual cost, year 1, $2,798, Year 2, $2,882. Year 3, $2,969, for a total cost of $8,649. This is an increase of $814. Term of the agreement is July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2027.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The solicitor's report.
Thank you. For the Agency on Aging, seeking a motion for approval and execution of an agreement between the County of Carbon, Carbon County Area Agency on Aging, and Behavioral Health Associates to provide career employment to BHA students at the Jim Thorpe Penn Kidder Senior Center and Panther Valley Senior Center. The agreement will be for the 2024-2025 school year, beginning August 1st, 2024, and ending July 31st, 2025, at no cost to the county.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
And under tax claims, seeking a motion for approval of a request received from Lansford Borough to exonerate current and delinquent taxes, county taxes for the years 2022 and 2023, totaling $395.93 for the listed parcel.
Motion. Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Nothing further for the solicitor's report.
Any further business? Hearing none. Commissioners' reports, Mr.
Nothing
Honor?
at this time.
Mr. Notstein?
Just real quick, looks like the weather's gonna be, good for our elected officials day at the training center to educate our local elected officials on what we have available, how we train, and how we work together in the emergency services. We do have some openings yet for local, elected officials, borough councils, supervisors and managers, and, even solicitors, et cetera. If they're interested in attending, let me know tomorrow, or show up Saturday, dress for the weather, wear jeans. We will be doing at least 2 live burns, depending if everyone shows up, and possibly more. So, looking forward to it. I know TV 13 will be there, updating our recruitment program video that we do through the County Fire Association, and trying to recruit volunteers. So hopefully that will be successful. That's all I have.
Mr. Sifranco?
The only thing I really have is I know there's been a lot of talk out there in reference to the D&L Trail and it being closed. And obviously the county commissioners have nothing really to do with that, but I do know that they've been working very hard with State Representative Heffley. The Canal Commission, you know, there's a board there from all the boroughs that have been trying to run into some roadblocks as trying to get the trail reopened. There has been some talk of trying to open it partially so that people can use it. The issues they were having is that when the trail was partially open, people were going around the barricades and going down into the construction sites, which was causing more and more issues. That's why the pushback as far as the rail being closed right here at the bridge and as far down as south of Weissport. It should be noted that the commissioners are very well aware of the financial impact it's been having on the businesses along the trail, Weissport, Jim Thorpe Borough, along with bike rentals and all of that. I do know that State Representative Heffley was having a call or a meeting with all the parties played out and to see if they could address trying to do something there or get a bypass or detour, something around the trail. We haven't received any information on that, but it should be noted that tonight at the Weissport Borough Building around 6:30, the Canal Commission, I'm not asking them to go down there and but they will have some information that they will be releasing at that time. But I would say this about the commission. I know the commission is as frustrated as everyone else, and they are working extremely hard, all members of that commission, to try to get that trail open as soon as possible. But obviously there's some roadblocks there that falls, in my eyes, on a lot of the engineering that was or was not done. So that's my comments. I don't know if anybody has anything else.
I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow is National Trail Day,
Yes.
so I'll make some comments tomorrow. And like I said, I think what Commissioner Sifranco was saying. It's hurting, just not, you know, everybody looks at the trail is for people coming in here to ride. I see a lot of people that drive up on their bicycles from Lehighton, or either they go here and go to Weisport and have an ice cream. So it has not just an impact on people riding, but it has an impact on the businesses. You know, and I think one of the things that I think Carbon County had prided themselves in, and I think Wayne and the commissioners before me did that and finished up when I came on, was Carbon County, the commissioners connected the north and the south part of the trail, you know, and that was a big thing. I mean, it wound up that it was 100 some miles long, and now it's cut back in half again. And I think over the engineering, I look at it, tomorrow I'll probably find out a little bit more, but I think we have to hold these engineers a little bit more accountable. I mean, I think the way it looks, Lehighton is stepping up a little bit to do work, and I've always said that ever since I've been here. You know, if it's not in the blueprint, then it's not the contractor's fault, and whose is it? It's the person that designed it. And if I gotta go out and put a building up for somebody, I gotta make sure where the water, sewer, electric, everything is. And how does somebody come in here and just draw a plan up and not have any verification for everything that's involved in that project? So I'll know more tomorrow.
So much for no comment, Mr. Arnold.
There's certain things that irritate me.
Well, I think the point just to be made is that I know the commission is working extremely hard and they're taking a lot of heat for, but they only followed the advice that was given them from people they paid very well. So please take some of the heat off of them and know that the commissioners, that falls at a whole different level than where we can assist, but we're there to help wherever we can. Other than that, that's all I have. Meeting adjourned. Amy's back, so we'll start with Amy in the front this year.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You took my words right out of my mouth, I mean.
What? Then well, you know, I gotta say something.
I know. Actually advertising request for non-essential county office closure. What are you considering non-essential county office?
Well, first of all, that's way it's worded. We don't want any county employee to feel like they're non-essential. That's not how that's meant. It had to be kind of done. The county will be closed July 5th because of the shutdown for power changeover. So some non-essential would mean, for obviously that is a holiday weekend. So we're going to need people still out at the lake, and we're going to need people here at the county parking lot. So maintenance group, the prison, 911. So if we just said all county employees, it becomes, so this was a way to, I don't want anybody to think that they're not essential, because every county employee plays an essential role here. But under the advice of our solicitor, and I'm not throwing him under the bus, but I'm going to, it was the safest way to word it with unions and employees and that, and you know. But I'm sure those that it will need to be worked will be notified by their immediate supervisor.
And everybody is needed and appreciated. It's just, in fact, I was looking it up. I think I had Val, or so everybody was looking like a different word. And another word you picked made it look worse.
Right.
You know, so that was the best wording that
That's
we
kind of
got.
why we left Commissioner Arner make the motion.
Or to shut down a prison for a day.
Yeah.
Send them home.
In regards also with county stuff, how did Memorial Day weekend go at the lake?
Very good. There were
Yeah.
no major issues that we heard of. Everything seemed to go well. I think by Monday evening, the park was pretty much cleared out and back to normal. But there was no overflow issues.
It was closed now, Salmonella Park. I saw the news this morning. Didn't even
Oh
hear it
God, I didn't even know
myself.
that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know
It
Belts.
was on Mock Chunk, oh, I'm sorry, that was.
Yeah.
Belts.
Oh yeah, Beltsville was, yeah, not Mount
Mr.
Chunk.
Notestein will be leaving the meeting.
Can you turn that reel back and film it again for his next statement?
He still thinks the D&L Trail's open.
Well, you know what that's gonna do to Mock Chunk Lake Park?
Yeah.
They're all gonna come there.
Yeah.
So,
And if that is the case, we will be speaking with Dave our parks manager later in the week, and see how he wishes to address that.
Thank you. With regards to the P Court insurance, is there any specific reasons why it jumped $71,000? Just normal?
I think it's just regular normal stuff, the way the insurance is going up, it's,
Payroll drives the liability.
yeah.
Okay, I think that is it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. To the back?
Okay, so in regards to the LERTA situation, so I just wanna make sure I understand it better. So is this something that the borough can declare for the whole borough, that any business can be a part of the LERTA program, or would each business have to apply?
Legal issue.
You're looking at me, so turn my microphone.
I can answer if you want.
Well, you sit there.
Yeah, the statutorily, 2 of the 3 taxing districts have to agree for the LERTA program to be implemented, but not all 3 taxing districts have to participate, but you can't do it with less than 2 of the 3 agreeing to implement and abide by the terms of the LERTA. So I don't know whether and to what extent the school district and the borough have already committed to that or not, but
Is that in regards to like the whole borough though, or just like the Ford business?
No, it's the entire borough, the way the ordinance is written, and I have the ordinance here. And it is, every business is eligible, but not individual people are eligible. Only businesses are eligible to apply for LERTA assistance. And it's, as I said, they took the entire borough, the entire footprint of the borough of Lehighton to be an economically depressed area to qualify for LERTA assistance. So it started with, I don't like to use the Ford, I'd just rather say the 443 corridor, but that was the business that they wanted to assist. They just don't meet the definition of the act, and that's my issue concerning it. You know, let's define a LERTA, if we want the program, let's define a LERTA zone, and you know, we have to understand the full administration, and I don't think they have a handle on the administration costs of doing this. I mean, charging $50 for an application fee is, all the engineering, that they have to review all the permits. Who's doing all this work? You know, the Department of Transportation, DCNR, Labor and Industries. Who is doing all this work to administrate these programs? They don't have that really worked out. They sat at the meeting and we'll work it out, you know, and the costs, you know, it's all gonna come back to the taxpayers, which we all have to support a business, I'm gonna use the word business for profit. You know, they're in business for a profit, and why do us taxpayers have to pay for that, so.
And has Ford come to you guys? Are they still seeking the LERTA program?
I don't know, they never really came to us at all. No, they never. And like, I think maybe just tagging on Mr. Blocker's comment, you know, with the reporting, it's just almost like what we have a grant. You have to follow all the way through and do reporting over the years. If you got a grant for 3 years, they're gonna have to do reporting on this for 10 years.
For 10 years.
Yeah.
Who's going, you know, if they don't meet their deadlines, what kind of follow-up? Who's going to police it? You know, who's in charge of all of this from each area? You have to understand, the biggest benefit is the school district. County taxes and borough taxes are small in comparison to the school district, so that's where the real weight is on this, is the school district.
Those 10 years, the municipal or taxing authorities can set the amount of reduction in taxes. You know, it could be 90% reduction for a year or two, and then the second and third year might only be a 70 or 25% reduction up to the 100% in 10 years. They could actually make it 0 taxes for 10 years if they wanted to. But, and they can graduate it, so, and we have turned one down, I think both Lee County, Palmerton, Borough, and I think the school district in that case turned one down for Horsehead.
Yeah, they, Palmerton, the school board, the borough, and the county turned Palmerton down. Tamaqua, the same way, they turned everybody down in Tamaqua, so it's, a precedence has been set, but it's up to each individual taxing party to either adopt or decline the programs.
Well, can I ask if they do come, are you planning to deny them then?
On my part, I would say yes. I mean, I think it's too, there's not enough information or to, like, what are exactly the guidelines? You know, if we're trying to help businesses, and I think like Mr. Blocker said too, there's some businesses that maybe they can get up to $25,000 or whatever it is, but how would even a small business like that, for $25,000, you can't even remodel a bathroom today for $25,000. So what would it help a business? You know what I mean? You couldn't even fix the facade, you know, on the front of your business, put new windows in. If you have windows, you probably have 15,000 and stucco and whatever else, roofs to be fixed. I mean, it's, to me, it sort of looks like it's gonna hurt the small business, not help them.
Have to
You know.
look at the finances, how many employees are you bringing in?
Yeah.
How much tax revenue is it gonna bring in improving the properties eventually? There's a lot of questions to be answered, you know, it's, will it bring in any additional tax funds is the big thing.
I mean, to tell you the truth, until they come and make a proposal and what their thought process, what their end game is here, that comment from you would be premature. The only thing I will say that I definitely disagree with is I do not find the entire borough of Lehighton economically depressed. I think there's a lot of great areas. They have problems just like every other community, but we should all be working together to promote our boroughs. I don't care what borough, from the smallest to the largest. But the time I've spent in Lehighton, and I've got to spend a considerable amount of time, I'll just say I find a community that's very proud of their community. And I think we should be promoting that. But there could be an end game here as to why they're doing that, that opens other doors that I'm not aware of at this time. So before we jump the gun, but it's a very proud community, and I want to see it stay that way.
That's all I have.
Anything else? Any other comments, concerns? That is all. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you all.
Thank